Hello and welcome guys to the practical of visualization. So we will be doing here creating basic plot using Matplotlib library. So basically Matplotlib library contains pyplot module which will help us or you can say it's a collection of so many functions such as plot, titles, labels, show. So this will help us create a full-fledged charts in basically Jupyter notebook, as well as you can use this library directly in Python also. So it will be like very easy for us to get started, because these libraries are so much fun, because they have created our life so easy that we just have to write few line of code and it will create histogram, line chart, bar plot, so all those charts. So basically in this tutorial we will be creating basic plots. We will see subplots, we will see common like basic way to basically add titles, labels, and then we'll add images, we'll add axes. So let's get started. Okay, so whoever is starting it for first, they need to install the matplotlib library, because it doesn't come like pre with Python. So how we do it, you have to do you have to write exclamatory sign pip install matplotlib, and you have to shift enter. Okay, so it will automatically install the matplotlib library. Or if you are getting error, or it's not your personal laptop, so you can use user. So what it will do, user will make sure that this forcefully you are installing it. Okay, even you have some restriction on office laptop, so that time you use force install. So it will help us force install matplotlib library. Or you can do it from other location also, like anaconda prompt. So here you have to come, okay, and you have to write the same code, but here you will won't write exclamatory sign, because it's a magic function. We can say it's a magic function that help us let Jupyter notebook knows that we want to do something that is that we used to do in command prompt. So that time you have to do this, you have to add exclamatory sign, or you can say magic function. Okay, so after you do this, we have to import all our basic libraries. Okay, matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, because we want to call it as plt. Now pandas. Okay, so run it. So import has been done. Now let's create two array. So to basically plot a simple line chart. Okay, so what you will do, you'll create two arrays. Okay, first one x, and how we do it, np dot linspace. Okay, or you can also use arrange. Okay, because I wanted data from 5 to 100, that's why I use linspace, because here you can tell start index, end index, and how many data you want. I want 100 data points. Okay, now same here, but I will change it to 1000. Now our data is ready. So basically it's very simple to plot a chart. It's you just have to write plt dot plot function, and it expect two two array, or you can say two columns, or you can say two series, okay, that you can pass here, so that it will plot a chart for us. Okay, now we have done. Now we have to call plt dot show function. Okay, now it will plot a chart for us. Okay, so plt dot plot is not defined. Okay, now you can see we have a chart. On the left side what we have, y-axis. Okay, on the right side what we have x-axis, and the chart between them is our line chart basically. Okay, now like I said, you can pass anything in the plt dot plot function. Okay, so let's pass two lists. Okay, first list will contain 1 5 10, another list will contain 10 5 2. Okay, now you can see this is how our plot look like. Okay, so now let's add labels, axis labels, titles, all those things. Let's add them and see how it looks like. Okay, so to do that, basically the method is plt dot x label. Okay, because I want to add into x-axis. Then for y-axis what you will do, you will add y label. Okay, then for title, plt dot title. Okay, now let's add values inside all this. So x label will be, let's say, current. Okay, or y-axis will be voltage. So it's a current and voltage charge, you can say, based on Ohm's law. Okay, now there is one more thing that you can add, that is x x lim and y lim. Let me tell you what that is. So basically, let's say you want to limit something, like on the y-axis and the x-axis you can see it start from 2 to 10. Now let's say you want to start from 4 to 12. So that time you will use x limit. Okay, for y limit, let's say your number starts from 2 to 10. Now let's say you want to change it with 5 to 10 because you don't want to see lower values. Okay, so that time we use basically xlim and ylim. So how we do it? Plt dot xlim, plt dot ylim, and then we pass the ranges. Okay, so let's say first one 20 to 80 I want to see, and then let's say 100 to 800, because on our x and y, that is what we have defined basically. And you will see how the range will change, because here you can see it starts from 0 to 1000 and 0 to 100 on the x-axis. Now plt dot show. Now you will see that I have ranged it between 100 and 800. Earlier it was 0 to 1000, as you can see. Now it is limited to 800, and that is what use of xlim and ylim is. Now you can see title is on top, that is we wrote Ohm's law, and then x level is current and y level is voltage. So this is how you will be writing labels and limit your numbers on the x-axis and y-axis. Now let's say you want to you don't want to print this line, you want to print something else like dot dot dot, or you can say hyphen hyphen, or dash dash, like that. So what you will do, you will pass you have to pass a parameter inside the plot function, that is, let's say I want to see what all different type of symbols they have. Okay, so it will tell us, okay, this one. Okay, so we have to add markers. So basically we call it markers. So we can increase the size of markers also. So we can plot, instead of line you can plot anything that we want. So let's say we want to plot plus. Okay, so now it will change to plus 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 plus, as you can see how it was changed. Okay, so this way you can use different type of symbols. Instead of just line, you can use minus, plus, or o marker. Now it will change with o. Hope you understand how we basically change the marker in charts. Okay, then let's try out some other things also. Okay, so there is one more that we can use to plot, like let's say you want to plot arrows. Okay, so that time what you will use, b plus. Okay, b plus is not this, g. Okay, now you can see like triangle, it has gave us symbols that represent it is growing up. Okay, so this way you can try out different type of markers we have in Matplotlib. Then we have concept of subplot. So basically Matplot has the concept of figures and subplot. So we use, when we want to create multiple subplot inside the same figure, so that time we use plt dot subplots, or for that we have to define figure also. So let's get started. Subplots and figure. Okay, so again I'll define two more arrays. Okay, let's x stay the same, I will change the y. Okay, so I want np.log of x. Okay, now we have to explicitly define the name of figure. Okay, so plt dot, so basically you initializing the figure explicitly, figure, and say it as a 1. Okay, now you will add subplots. Okay, so let's say I want to plot two plots one after one. So what you will do, plt dot subplots. Now you will pass the number. Okay, so basically I'll explain you what this number means. I am telling them that I want one row, okay, two subplots, and this one is the first one. Okay, so we'll get to know more about this in the next subplot when we'll create. So let's start. Like, let me give the titles. So when I will create the second subplot, it will get clear, because next time I will be using 1 to 2 instead of 1 to 1, because I am saying this is the first row, I want two plots, and I am the second plot. So when I will create the second plot, I will write, instead of 1 to 1, I will write 1 to 2. Hope you get it, how to basically create subplots, right? Now we'll pass the title. Let's say y is log of x. Okay, now the next plot will be 1 to 2. Now we'll plot the different thing. Okay, now let's say it's a square of y. Okay, now we will type log of x whole square. Now you'll plot x y whole square. Okay, and let's plt dot show. So now you will see two subplots inside one figure, and this is how you will be creating subplots. Okay, so make sure you get the understanding of subplot and how we give the numbers. Okay, let's make it simpler. So basically x equal to 1 2 3, now y equal to 4 5 6. Okay, now we don't need this subplots. By default is basically matplotlib initialize this, so we don't need this. You can explicitly define, but you don't know it. Okay, uh, here we have to change it to comma, we have to add comma to it. Now we can see the charts. Okay, let's not make confusion. So this is how we will be creating subplots. Now you can see we have two plots in a one figure. Now let's say you want four figures, so that time what you will do, you'll do the same thing, but you have to just change the subplot coordinates. Okay, so how you will do it, just copy this. Okay, now this is now you want to put this in the second row. Okay, second row, and then in second row you also want two plots, and this one is the first one, and that way you will be doing this. Okay, okay, something fishy. Okay, now we have to make use of plt.figure. Okay, because now we have multiple rows. Okay, where we want to plot, so we'll mention that this is my figure 1 and this is my figure 2, and there's so many way to do it, but these are the simplest way to basically create subplots. Okay, now you will see in another row we created our other two plots. So this is how you basically will work with subplots. Okay, now we will be working with different type of commonly used plots. Okay, that are box plot, histogram plot, scatter plot. So let's read one data set. You remember we have worked with market data, so let's read that. Pd.read. Okay, so data frame look like this. Now we will be using one of its column to plot box plot. Okay, let's first see the example of box plot. So what you do, plt dot box plot. Okay, so if you want to plot line chart, so you will write, so if you type shift enter here, it will tell you, shift tab, sorry, it will tell you how many other type of plot they have. Okay, now you can see they have added one example also. Okay, so what type of uh, how to basically use this library to plot different type of charts. So for that reason we use shift tab to basically give me an example, or you can say read documentation from here only. Okay, so that is what we do here with the help of shift tab. Now let's say you want to plot box plot, so this is how you will be calling box plot. Now you want to plot histogram plot, so you will write histogram plot, and this is how easy it is to work with matplotlib. You just have to name that particular chart and it will plot that chart. By the only condition is we have to correctly pass the parameters. So let's go with box plot. Now what we have to pass, we have to pass one column. Okay, so one column what I want to plot, let's say order quantity. Okay, now you can see we have the box plot, and this is like upper bound, this is lower bound, this is the lowest value, this is the maximum value, and this is the median value. Okay, hope this one is clear. Now let's say for another column we want to see. Okay, for let's say sales. So now see this is completely different from what we have seen for order quantity. Why? Because this data is very hazy, because this is sales data, and obviously sales data always stay hazy only. Okay, so as you can see we have so many outliers. So one has value greater than 80,000. Okay, and our minimum value is around near to 0. As you can see, this is upper bound, low, we can't even see the lower bound, and we can see median is around 1 to 2, like I mean 100 or 200, I mean median where it lies, and all of these are outliers, the black dots, and there are so many values, that's why it is looking like black, but so basically you understood, right, how we basically plot box plot and what type of information we get from here. And then there is a way to scale this value to see the graph correctly. Okay, and the problem is that not every variable that you see here is scaled. So sometime we'll see price of different product. So let's say this is a master data set, and it contains product of different categories. Let's say toothpaste, brush, food related. Okay, and then there is appliance related. Okay, now the scale between appliance and food related product obviously will have so many variance, right? So high variance. So that time what we do, we can scale the data so that we will be able to check our plots like this only. So let's do that. How we do it? So basically we'll add we'll see one after one plot so that it will make sense. So basically we use subplot for that. Okay, for first subplot what we will do, plt dot subplot, again same 1 to 1, and then what we want to plot, plt dot plot box plot and the name of column. Okay, sales. Now I want another box plot towards right, and I want this to be scaled. Okay, so what you will write, you will write plt dot y scale. Okay, y scale, and then type of scaling logic you want to apply. Now you will apply log logic and then plt dot show. Okay, you can also like scale your x-axis value, but for now we have our value on y-axis, so that's why we'll focus on y-axis. Okay, now if we run this, you can see that now the log has scaled the subplot far more readable in readable format. Right, now we can infer the information more better way. Okay, now we can infer that minimum sale is around 0 and then median is around 100. Okay, like this. I was telling you, right, it is around 100. So that's why, and rest of them, the black dots that you see or bubbles, those all are outliers which reaching 1 lakh or more than that. I mean, you can see here it is more than 1 lakh also. Okay, so this is how we will be scaling our data when or chart when we have such a situation. Now let's go for histogram plot. Okay, now like I said, what you will do, plt dot hist, so it will plot histogram. Now which column you want to plot? Let's say sales one only. Okay, so as you can see, we have same scaling issue here. So again what we will do, first we scale and we'll make understanding of data. So how we do it, we just use y scale because we have data on y side. Okay, so now you can see our data is scaled and it is more readable than what it was earlier. Okay, so now you can make more like clear understanding of how basically our sales is distributed. Okay, what is the purchases has been made, how what is the value and where most of the purchases happened. It's around like 200 that we see in this box plot also. Okay, now we'll look at scatter plot. So what we'll do, plt dot scatter. Obviously scatter is used to check relationship between two columns. So let's say we want to check relationship between sales and profit. Okay, so let's take sales comma profit. Now you can see this is how basically our data point is scattered over the values, and this you can clearly see this value is very far away, and we have obviously seen this value here also in the box plot. Okay, so obviously in every place we can see that there is some outlier that basically making our data uh, you know uh, uh, basically saying it need to be scaled, or either we can drop this row where we have identified outlier. Okay, now we will be working with image data. Okay, now what is image data basically? So image contains data it's a form of numpy array. Basically every pixel in image that you see is a numpy array between value 0 to 255. Okay, and in every image we have three layers, red, green, blue. So we'll see in example. So let's download one image. Let's download this image only, numerical image. Okay, okay, this one. Let's take this one. Now save save as. So we have to save inside C. Okay, so the name of file is img. Okay, now let's read it. So to read a image we use plt dot imread. Okay, so using imread we basically read the images. So what was the name of our image? It was img dot extension is png. Now to see the image, what we have to do, plt dot imshow. Okay, and we have to pass our image object. Now plt show. Okay, file not found. Okay, why this is happening? Okay, it's img, it's the extension is jpg, sorry. Now you can see our image we have loaded. Now to see, I mean, basically what is the type of image it is, or you can say how basically python reads it. So let's see what is the type of data type it shows. Okay, so if we type this, you will say it is a numpy array. Okay, like I just told you, it's, I mean, it's just a value between 0 to 255, because 0 means complete white and 255 means complete black, I guess. Okay, so and value lies between these two ranges. Okay, and if I type the shape, you will see it will say 3 shape. Why? Because obviously every image has 3 channels, because this is not a black and white image, so that's why it has 3 channel, that is RGB. Okay, so later on we will see similar examples. So for now, yeah, thanks for all for joining DS visualization tutorial. In next tutorial we'll see different things. Yeah, thank you, bye bye.